They're two best friends who like talking movies. They're really funny and have big hearts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to GooberCast. Today we are talking about Shin Godzilla and Godzilla Minus One. I feel like we kind of wanted to talk more about Shin Godzilla, but you kind of gave me some homework to watch Minus One because I hadn't before, but you had. Oh, I'm
Yep.
Colten, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm Ethan.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is
Yes, welcome
GooberCast.
all. This is GooberCast, the one and only. Yeah. So, did you want to talk about Shin Godzilla first and then Minus One?
Yeah, because I don't know, that one came out first. Shin Godzilla was 2016, and so it came out first. But I saw Minus One or MO. I saw that one first, and then I was like heard about this other one, and so I watched that. In fact, I just finished watching it just now, just before we.
It's fresh
I was
in your
literally
mind.
just finishing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fresh.
You're a
Shin Godzilla.
procrastinator. You put it to the last minute.
I did. It was last minute.
Yeah. Well, I watched Shin Godzilla first and then Minus One. I actually had the 4K Blu-ray for Minus One, and I hadn't seen it yet, so I plopped that bad boy in. But
I was sitting on the
yeah.
shelf for you. It
Yeah,
was ready.
still sealed. Yeah, Shin Godzilla is interesting. I'm a bit mixed on it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
it was interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting framing device of like what if this really happened and like kind of the bureaucracy of it and how it would realistically look.
Yeah, it was quite political.
Yeah, very much so. Like what other Godzilla movie are people talking about like how this is going to affect the economy?
Yeah,
But yeah, what did you think? First thoughts?
I thought mixed because I liked the Godzilla way it looked. It was so creepy and
Yeah.
different, like unique.
But also it felt in the spirit of the original.
That's what
and
it felt
I
like they
thought
were
anyway,
trying
yeah.
to go for.
Mhm.
Like it felt like a Godzilla movie. It was trying to be like a classic Godzilla movie, and I liked the way it looked. But then it was pretty boring. I don't know. It got pretty boring with the important people talking.
Yeah, I agree. It gets pretty drawn out. There are some parts like I feel like it wasn't like a static viewing experience for me where it started and then it just got more and more boring. Like there were some parts that I was much more interested in. I think when the US first got involved and like what are they, like the B-52 bombers or whatever came.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was like a really well put together part, just with like the editing and the music, and it felt very like tragic, and for some reason I like felt bad for Godzilla at that moment. But yeah, most of it is just like, and I had a pretty hard time keeping up with it, to be honest. Like, a lot of subtitle reading. They're speaking very fast. The cuts are like insane. Like I wonder how many cuts per minute were in this movie. Like it almost felt like there was one every second. Just
it was
always
fast.
rapidly cutting to like something else. And it was interesting. Something I noticed was like the sound choices too. A lot of like the sound.
I love the sound. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love
Well,
the sound and the music.
a lot of the sound of like the action parts even almost sounded like they were taken from an old movie, maybe even like the original Godzilla. I don't know. I know the theme was definitely from the original Godzilla, but did you notice that?
Yeah, I like the music that gave me that vibe of like old school sound.
But specifically the
old
sound effects sounded to me like
Yeah,
in
and
an old movie.
and sound effects. Like even
Mhm.
the way the Godzilla roar, that sounded like, I think that reminds me of like the older one.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would,
Yeah.
because I haven't seen the older one, but I
I
feel
actually
like
haven't either. Which
heard
is
the sound
crazy,
before.
but yeah,
I've
I
heard
mean like the theme,
same roar before.
and the theme is iconic.
The screech. Yeah, and the theme.
Yeah,
Yeah, he comes out. He comes out of the water, and then he's like small, and then he grows bigger and turns into this black guy with a big tail. With a big tail, and then he shoots laser beams.
Yeah,
That's what Godzilla's like.
Evolution is
lizard.
like a big part of this story, like him evolving. And I liked the themes of this movie. Like I haven't seen too many other Godzilla movies. I've seen like some of the American ones, like the 2014 Gareth Evans or Edwards one
in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, and
yeah, we saw that one together, right? We saw it together.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That was like over a decade ago.
Yeah.
And like I've seen some of the follow-ups to that one, like Godzilla King of the Monsters or whatever.
Yeah, the legendary ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the studio. Legendary.
But I feel like, and especially with a lot of the sequels of the original ones, like in the like 70s and 80s and stuff, it feels like Godzilla as the allegory that it started as in the original 50s film has been lost. And both of these movies bring it back to like the roots. And I can understand why people love Shin Godzilla so much for that reason, you know?
What's the original story? You mean like not where he's like secretly the good guy?
No, yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Like that?
Yeah. But like him being an allegory for like the fallout of nuclear weapons and like Japan's history with nuclear weapons and kind of like the Pandora's box of that. And like, I don't exactly know, maybe because I haven't seen the original, like what the allegory is supposed to be, you know, 1-to-1, like whether or not Godzilla is supposed to represent the bomb itself or if him coming about is as a result of dabbling in that, you know what I mean? But there's definitely subtext of that in Shin Godzilla. At moments, it gets a bit too on the nose, in my opinion. Like, I do like the position they're taking of like, we can't let a third bomb drop on Japan, right? And so like when they're thinking about how they might be able to like get rid of Godzilla, that's an option, right? And like up to like close to the end, it's like, oh, I guess, you know, the US is going to bomb Godzilla. That's like our only option. And then the people in power being like, no, we need to find an alternative because of the history, right? And because of like, yeah, I don't know. I liked that a lot.
So they use chemicals, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they freeze him. That ending.
Yeah. That ending.
I didn't know what that meant, and I still am not sure. It was kind of haunting to me, like the ending shot.
To explain, the ending shot that I just saw, like he was frozen and stuff. They defeated Godzilla, and he had his tail up in the air, and like they zoomed in on the tip of his tail, and there was like these little like almost xenomorph looking guys like kind of coming out of it, but they were frozen too. But they're like looked like they're in the
like
middle
humanoid type,
like
bones almost,
alien things coming out of the tail. That was the very last shot.
And then it just cuts to black, and it's kind of like,
I was
like, what does that mean?
I was a little bit confused by that. I didn't
know what did you think?
It felt like a cliffhanger. Well,
what do you think that means?
I think it means that for the movie, I think it means to show like it's maybe not over. That's the point of that. But is there a symbolic reason to that? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I took it as all symbolic. It's almost like Godzilla was turning into this, whatever this was, right? And as I was saying, like, evolution, like, when they first show Godzilla, and I agree with you, by the way, that this is, like, my favorite look of Godzilla. Like, in both of his evolutions, like, his first stage or whatever, where he was, like, this lizard creature with these big like fish eyes, and his gills were like leaking blood. It's just like so surreal and strange, and it's like, ugh. And even his like final form of the film where it's he looks pretty like there's kind of a standard look of Godzilla, but I liked how they kind of make it look like the original with like the big mouth, and he has these like what look like googly eyes on him, like literally. But yeah, I don't know. There was something I did love his design. It was great. It was like my favorite part of the movie, to be honest.
Yeah, just it was off-putting. It was creepy because it was actually off.
It's like uncanny.
Putting. It was
Yeah.
uncanny. Yeah, I was a little bit actually creeped out by that in the beginning, especially because there's a whole thing with the VFX in that movie are interesting as well, and that's something that you definitely have to compare with the other Godzilla movies. It's kind of VFX are a big part of those movies. And with this one, I found that it looked like it was pretty consistent with its look, but it looked not the best, like almost like 90s, like VFX.
No, I
of.
agree. You know what? I specifically think it was like when Godzilla was interacting with the world or like pushing things around or breaking a building, like that's when it looked its worst. But like when they were just showing Godzilla like in the sky or whatever, or like in a wide shot where he's in the background, like that looked pretty great to me.
Yeah, when it was just him at night, especially, it looked good. But also, I think, I don't know, that felt like it could have been like on purpose a little bit to actually make it, because that made it feel more creepy. Like did it give you like Sharknado vibes or like
maybe a little? Like yeah, like obviously not as bad, but like it almost looks like those presets of like when you use a mobile app and it's like, you know what I mean? It just shows an explosion. Like it almost had that feeling of like not quite interacting with this world. And in my opinion, like the visual effects in Godzilla -1 looked a lot better. But
well, if you're comparing that, I mean, Shin Godzilla used it used some miniatures and stuff as well. But then the Godzilla was all CGI. And then comparing that now to -1, Godzilla -1 has like the best VFX I've seen in almost any movie, and it's so realistic looking.
Yeah,
they're like the best VFX.
Well,
and they just went for pretty pure crazy realistic. It's so good.
It's pretty crazy that they had a very similar budget too, which was like between $10 and $20 million, like nothing compared to American budgets. I don't know if that's maybe because like the visual effects people were underpaid, but like pretty amazing what they were able to accomplish with both of them. Like even Shin Godzilla for only like $10-15 million, like that's crazy.
Yeah, I get. And then there's the timing, like the technology.
Yeah,
because -1 is made later, but it was all about that movie. Was all about the VFX and how, because it won the Oscar, right, for that.
Yeah, it did.
VFX. And it's like it is the best. It is the best VFX in that movie.
Could I say what I think the ending meant of Shin Godzilla?
Okay, yeah. Oh, say what you think.
Yeah, sorry, we kind of moved on a little bit, but what I think that ending is that throughout the whole movie, we see Godzilla evolving to counteract the attacks of people, right? So, like, in his first phase, when, you know, they were gonna, like, shoot him with helicopters or whatever, but they didn't because there was like one person walking.
Civilian, yeah.
And it's like that was also a weird thing of like, oh my gosh, if this was like based in America, they would be like, too bad, bye. Just like blow him up.
Too bad, Grandma.
And then he comes back and he's basically invincible to bullets, right? It's like he keeps evolving to become something that they can't destroy. And I took the ending as he was evolving once again to become people, to become humans. Does that make sense?
Because humans, we're our own worst enemy.
Well, because no, I think it's because Shin Godzilla is a very human approach to Godzilla. Like it's about working together. It's about history and people problem solving. It's all problem solving. And it's an interesting idea that Godzilla almost maybe even observed that they didn't kill him because there was a person in the way, and they had that much humanity to be like, no, we're not gonna risk a person. And he was evolving to become that, so that, I don't know, like, this is kind of a weird idea, but I thought it was an interesting one of like, it's kind of metaphysical, but you know what I mean?
That's a good theory. That is, I did not think that deeply about it, but that would make sense, that like the turning into people, what you said. Yeah, it was just weird. Like, yeah, out of place almost. But then it changes your perspective on the rest.
Yeah, but it still didn't really feel led up to necessarily.
No, it was kind of sudden. You're like, what is this?
Yeah, and there's a lot of kind of weird just choices in it. Like there's a part I'm not sure I liked the character who was like from the Japanese embassy in the US.
The guy, which guy was the guy?
No,
who didn't see
the
his
woman.
face?
The woman, sorry. Yeah, it was kind of weird because, I mean, first of all, she spoke in like very, very broken English. And I'm sure that like if you were Japanese and you watched this, you're like, oh, she's speaking English. Clearly she's American. But like to English speakers, it's kind of weird. And you're like, oh, like, and they even make a comment at some point that like she's trying to be the president or something, and it's like, what? I don't know. It was kind of weird, but
yeah. Well, I thought she'd be want to be the prime minister of Japan.
No, I think she was American because she said at one point she was like, oh, I can't let this happen to my grandmother's country, talking about Japan. So it's like she's not even from Japan. And that's also the point where they kind of like get a bit too ham-fisted with the message, where it's like clearly they're talking about like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and then they just cut two pictures of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Did you not notice that?
I remember that. No, the pictures? No.
Yeah, they just cut to two pictures. Like, she's talking with the main character, and she's like, oh, we can't let a third bomb drop. And then they just cut to two pictures of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And then they cut to, like, the prime minister, the new prime minister after the old one died. And he's, like, talking to the U.S., and that's when they talk about, like, how they're going to drop the bomb, and they're trying to figure out a different way to do it.
Yeah. Maybe I missed stuff with subtitles. Because we watched it I watched it in Japanese.
Yeah, I did too.
I don't even know if there's a dub, but I watched in Japanese. Both movies are Japanese movies.
Yeah.
With subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we watched them. I don't know, I do miss I'm not great with subtitles, but I might not have gotten that anyway, because you have a different take on it.
Yeah, well, we've been watching a lot of movies, me specifically, because I didn't watch the dub of Mars Express. I watched the original French one. So, like,
yeah.
Now we've seen 6 movies for this podcast. 3 of them have been in English, and 3 have been in a different language with subtitles for me. So,
well, there's still 4. Yeah, there's still foreign though.
What's that?
Okay, sorry. I was like K-pop Demon Hunters was in English, but it's still foreign.
Different culturally, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. They talk Korean in that movie.
They do at moments, yeah.
I learned some Korean from that movie. But yeah, no, okay, we gotta, we'll do some. I don't know why we've been doing foreign films a lot, but we'll do other ones.
Did you have anything else to say about Shin Godzilla?
Shinny Godzilla. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say. Like, I would say it was weird. Like, it had some points for uniqueness.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's hard to like recommend 2 hours of Godzilla to somebody, and it's mostly politics and
yeah. Well, this one
I wanted to like it more. I appreciated the style and overall,
yeah,
it was good.
I appreciated it too. Yeah, and
I've wanted to see it for a long time, so I'm really glad that I saw it.
Yeah, me too. It's very interesting, and clearly a lot of people like it. And I think that more has to do with, like, the fact that it kind of got back to basics of, you know, Godzilla as an allegory and the human aspect of Godzilla and of what it means to the country of Japan, and bringing it back to its origin even. Like, you know, it's almost inappropriate that these American movies are coming out and it's like Godzilla meeting King Kong, and it's like, this has nothing to do with what Godzilla is.
So inappropriate.
Yeah, racist. But I will say, Godzilla -1 does everything better than Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, I think so.
We can talk about that one more now.
And then we'll talk about, now we should talk about the -1 movie.
Mm-hmm. But first,
yeah, we should do that. Sponsor.
Yeah, but first we have
our sponsor.
A sponsor.
Here you go.
GooberCast is sponsored by water. That's right, water. Drink it cold, drink it hot. Drink it whether you're thirsty or not. It's so refreshing, it'll fill you with glee. H2O water. It's free. But don't take our word for it. Listen to what some of our consumers have to say.
I love water, man. It's so good.
Water's the bomb, Christina.
How did you know my name? Get out of here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you to
Thanks, bud.
Them for sponsoring us.
Couldn't done without you.
Yep.
Godzilla -1.
Mm.
That is okay. What do you have to say first?
Well, when did you see this? Like, how long is it?
I don't know. I saw it. Yeah. Okay. So it's been a while. I saw it last year. Didn't it come out last year?
2023, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I saw it 2024, I think.
Okay.
Whatever. It was a while ago. So, and actually, I think I saw it. I saw the first half twice. I did see the first half more recently. How long's that one? Not quite as long. It's not 2 hours.
No, they're both 2 hours. Actually, I think Godzilla -1 might be a couple minutes longer. It's like 2 hours and 4 minutes. And Shin Godzilla is like just under 2 hours, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. No, yeah. Yeah, it's like almost exactly. Yeah, so they're already pretty comparable.
Mm-hmm.
In that they're Godzilla Japanese and 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But
comparable budgets too.
Comparable budgets, yeah, comparable a lot of things. But yeah, I think we both liked -1 more. And why do you think it's called Godzilla -1?
I have no idea. Because
What's the -1?
It happens chronologically before the original one, maybe.
Oh, does it? I don't know. You're the subtext guy.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. But yeah, everything.
It's a Japanese game. There's like rock, paper, scissors. Is that Japanese or am I thinking Korean? I don't know. There's rock, paper, scissors -1.
Oh.
I think it's like a game.
Huh.
It's a game. I'm pretty sure. It's something to relate. I think if you're Japanese, you would understand that title maybe a little bit better.
Maybe, yeah, we should have looked up, but I guess that's indicative of the amount of work we put into this podcast. No.
I look it up. Why is it called
You're the fact
Godzilla
checker.
minus one? Godzilla minus one is named so because after World War II, Japan was left at 0 due to the war's devastation, and then Godzilla's emergence pushed the nation into an even worse negative state. Which
Oh,
is
that's
-1.
interesting. That's
Oh yeah, because
interesting.
after the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, where do you even start with this movie? It's so... First of
Start
all,
with the
like, the
beginning.
human characters, so good. Like, I was so interested. I was so, like, I genuinely forgot at moments that this was a Godzilla movie. I just thought it was a drama about a man after being a kamikaze pilot in World War II. And it's like, yeah, what a compelling story to begin with. And just so heartfelt too. And like, yeah, I mean, should I go through the story a little bit to people who haven't?
For sure.
Yeah. So it's about a kamikaze pilot in post-war Japan who kind of flees his duty of killing himself and goes back to his home village, which has been destroyed, and he finds a woman who has a little girl who isn't her little girl, but like she was kind of entrusted with taking care of this like very tiny child. And they basically build a life together in post-war Japan and try to survive the hardships of this time and this place with the added difficulty of this monster.
Yeah, and then Godzilla comes in.
Yeah, it's like as if they didn't have it hard enough.
That's the -1.
Yeah, and it works so much better allegorically when you are seeing the direct effects of World War II on Japan. And you see these cities that are just destroyed. He goes back home, his parents are dead, his community is just rubble, and you see them build it back up. You see them build their life again, and then Godzilla comes and destroys it all over again. And it's honestly heartbreaking. Like, I was so invested in this movie.
Were you shooketh?
I was shook. I was shaking.
Yeah, and Godzilla's actually pure evil in the movie. Like, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
As it should be, I think.
I think, yeah.
As it should be.
I mean, I've always seen Godzilla as kind of like a tragic thing, you know? It's like, what are his motivations? And I think Shin Godzilla kind of almost hinted at, like, is he just acting out of instinct? Like, is this even his fault? Is he, you know, what is he? But Godzilla -1 definitely shows him as more of like a villain and just a monster terrorizing Japan. And a big portion of this movie is with Godzilla in the water, almost like Jaws, where they're trying to yeah, thank you for that. Where they're trying to kill him, and it's very unsettling. Like, you don't know where he is. Like, that's something that is a added horror, because, you know, in other Godzilla movies, he's just out in the open. He's there. And as scary as that is, it's even scarier when he's under the water and you don't know where he is.
Yeah, well, he always comes from the water, right?
Yeah. But he's usually so mobile in the water.
Yeah, there's more water stuff. Like, he was like swimming around. And then he stands up, but he's not actually standing. He's like floating on the surface.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Because the center of mass is so low. But then that was like a big plot point for the movie, so they sink him.
Yeah, that's kind of how they finally get him.
Their whole plan.
But yeah, I mean, just as a story, how it's written, yeah, the writing specifically is so good in this. It's a very compelling, interesting story of a man who feels a lot of guilt for like abandoning his role, but also knowing that there really wasn't anything he could have done. That and there's a lot of almost like survivor's guilt of like he tried so hard
Yeah.
to survive, and then he just comes back to a country that kind of resents him for abandoning his duty. And it's like there's a theme here of like, maybe if he sacrificed himself, things would have been different. Maybe his neighbors would have still been alive. Maybe the people that he killed being a kamikaze pilot are the same people who killed his friends and family. It's like, I don't know, but it all has this message of war and what is it good for? To quote the song.
So relatable. Yeah, I think it was sad. But I liked when Godzilla destroys the city and it's like everybody's dying and stuff. They made it look cool.
Mm-hmm.
The fire and the thumping around.
Godzilla is very threatening in this one too. Like because
he looks
scary.
real.
He's massive, and he's like
They're the same size in
Yeah.
both movies. They're 120 meters tall.
Oh, really?
Approximately. Yeah. So they
He
end up being
felt
the same.
bigger in in Godzilla -1.
Yeah, because of this, like, the way they showed it,
Mm-hmm.
like with I don't know, just the way they showed it. It was more realistic
Yeah.
looking. I don't know.
Yeah,
If I've
and
said that
even
a
just,
couple
like-
times now, but it just does look real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
He
good.
just feels more powerful too. He'll pull
You don't wanna
something
mess with
out
him.
every now and then that's like a new special move, and it's like, oh my gosh. Imagine
Done
if this
Super
was real.
Saiyan.
Like, it's terrifying. This monster
Yeah.
that not only is just crushing everything in its path, but can also like spit out nuclear bombs essentially. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with Godzilla movies is that, like, Godzilla as the idea of just a giant monster existing in our modern world is such a universally, like, recognizable idea and, like, fear, something to be irrationally afraid of. Big animals are scary. And so you're like, the extreme is like this 120 meter tall lizard dinosaur thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like every person has like thought of this like like as a child. I was like I'm like, is there a movie with like a giant monster? And my dad was like, oh yeah, it's a movie. It's called Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's had this thought about the scariest thing, and then they think of a giant monster. It's just so like human to think of. Like everybody thinks about that kind of thing. And
well, it's
but then you make it
apocalyptic.
into a movie.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like this like bringer of death and like a literal
Yeah,
destroyer
because-
of worlds. And it's funny how, like, you know, Oppenheimer has the quote of like, I am become, it's kind of corny, but I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. And that's like, that is literally Godzilla. He is
And
like
Godzilla
the
means-
embodiment of like nuclear hydrogen warfare. Like, he is the destroyer of worlds.
Godzilla means God incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that from Shin Godzilla? That's
Yeah.
what they said.
Yeah.
And you're like, it is. And that's what's scary.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's easy to think of, but then you make it into a movie and it has to be, you know, more than the guy going around destroying stuff. Then they're like, gotta throw some politics in there and make it a movie. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do have some issues with Godzilla -1. Like, it's not perfect.
Well, it was pretty. Sorry, can I say? I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
like,
go
it's
ahead.
pretty little Hollywood. Well, it's not Hollywood because it's Japanese, but like a little cheese.
Well, yeah, like
had some
Hollywood
cheesiness.
schmaltz, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, he's not gonna die. Like the main character when he sacrifices the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was pretty confident of that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's not gonna die.
Yeah.
You know he's
Well,
not, and then he doesn't. But
It is.
he redeemed himself. It's just, there's a little bit of cheese, but I'm fine with a little bit of cheese.
Yeah,
You know me.
I mean, it's yeah. It's kind of like weirdly a feel-good movie, like especially with the ending. And I mean the treatment of the woman character, like the main character's partner, I guess.
I don't feel good.
Well, by
pretty
the end,
dramatic.
by the end.
Yeah, it's a good end. It's a happy ending.
It's a happy ending. But they basically kill her off, the woman, and
She's dead.
I mean, I believed that it happened. Maybe because it wasn't a Hollywood movie, I was like, I believe that they would go there. I believe that they would kill her off. And that really, I think that was a good thing for me, because I was like, I didn't know that he wouldn't kill himself, that he wouldn't sacrifice himself, because it's like they killed her off. What's to say they won't kill him off? And I was actually like really sad when she died too. I was like, oh man, like I was really hoping that they would get together, that he would like say he loved her, and that they would, get married or whatever and kind of raise this child as a family, and that he would, allow her to call him daddy, because like she did, and he was like, I told you before, I'm not your dad, like they're just kind of
Shut up.
survive. Yeah. They're just kind of surviving, but I was like really invested in their story, and I was like, I want them to become a family. And I thought that was taken away. But it was effective to where like
Wait, sorry, did she survive?
Yes, she did, which I think is a fault of the movie, I will say, but as a viewing experience, I did not care that it was cheesy. I did not care that it made no sense, because, like, she pushed him into the corner when, like, the bomb went off, and it was like, either she would have been, like, evaporated, or he would have found her. Like, why did he not find her, but she was alive? That just doesn't really make sense to me. But I was so happy for them at the end of the movie. I was like, yes, like, this is a good ending. They can be a family. And like,
yes,
when he like comes into her room and he's like crying and stuff, I'm like, oh man, like this, it really got me in the feels. Like I was like, oh, like I want them to, I want them to do well. But that being said, I
remember getting emotional about it.
Yeah, it's well done, but
yeah,
it is cheesy. It is maybe a bit cliche. Maybe it doesn't really make that much sense. But hey, it was good. It was well done.
It's a Godzilla movie.
I was entertained by it very much. I did think like the very ending was very stupid. I don't know why they did it. Like, so the final,
it's so they could have Godzilla -2.
Yeah, but you could still do that without this silly ending. Anyway, so like I guess the second last thing you see in the movie is like, he finds out that his partner is like still alive, and he goes to the hospital, and he's like crying on her hospital bed, and they embrace, and it's like really cute and sad. And then they just cut to Godzilla's corpse in the water, and he's like coming back to life. It's like a Friday the 13th thing of like, oh, his hand moves or whatever, and it's like, what? And then that's how it ends.
Godzilla
and it's like,
will return.
To be honest, like, if they just cut to black while he was, like, crying at her hospital bed, I might have actually cried. Like, that was, like, a perfect ending. And then they pull that out, and it's, like, to be honest, it's, like, the opposite of Shin Godzilla, where it's, like, my favorite part of Shin Godzilla was that final shot. It was like, oh, what does that mean? It kind of left you with, like, a weird feeling. They didn't feel the need in that one to, like, have him be like, oh, is he dead? Is he not? But yeah, I don't know what the deal was in Godzilla -1, but I liked the movie overall. Anyway, yeah.
Well, not unbiased, totally biased opinion, Godzilla -1 is the best Godzilla movie.
Well, I haven't seen the original.
Biased because
I feel like
we haven't seen the original.
I feel like that might... I was tempted to watch it today, honestly. I was like, oh, I feel like I need to watch the original. I've seen, like, the two other probably most famous Japanese Godzilla films.
It's not good.
It's not good?
It's not going to be good.
Well...
It's probably not good.
Maybe not with, like, the visual effects and stuff. I don't know. But...
It's not going to be good. I can tell you it's not going to be good. Well, it's not going to be as good as -1.
I don't know. I mean, I think I know what you're saying, but like, yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell you. No, it's just yeah. Okay, out of the ones I've seen, it's this -1 is the best.
Yeah, easily.
And Shin, I wanted to be better,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily better. They're
Mhm.
they're comparable, but yeah, -1 is easily better, and yeah, you should watch that one. I recommend that one. -1.
I would recommend Shin Godzilla too. I think it's worth watching. If you're not
would-
bored by people in rooms talking for like 90% of it. But.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
not
That
a
for
bad
me,
movie. I do like it. And there are
Shin-
moments that like I think back to it and I'm like, I don't know. Some things
Maybe
do
what?
stick out. Some things do stick out. You know, I do prefer, I think we both prefer the design of Godzilla and Shin Godzilla. And I think it's worth watching even just to see, you know, I don't know that you need to sit through a 2-hour-long movie. Maybe you can just
Well,
like
some of
look
those
up a
shots
clip,
were really
but-
good. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
watch the best clips. I would give it, I think 5 out of 10 because it was just
Oh yeah.
it's pretty equally nice to not. It was pretty mixed.
Yeah.
And maybe that's being hard, but
Yeah,
That's-
I follow
yeah.
that too. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 just because that's kind of my benchmark. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for Shin Godzilla. That is. Yeah. What would you give Godzilla -1?
well, I haven't seen. I don't know if I could fairly rate it because I haven't seen it in a while. But better than Shin Godzilla. Probably like a next level up, so like a 6 out of 10
Oh, really?
because that's
Oh,
good stuff. Yeah, that's good. It's a different like. It's a league above.
Yeah. I would
It's
give
good.
it an 8.
It's good.
I would give it an 8 out
Oh.
of 10. Which.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
lot better. Okay,
Yeah. I can't
maybe
imagine.
higher.
I cannot imagine a monster movie being any better. Everything worked for me. I was very engaged by it. I loved it.
Everything worked.
I'll probably put
But
this
I
on
don't-
a
yeah.
list of like my favorite movies, I would imagine. Yeah, I loved it. In
Cool.
the you know, National Film Registry of Colton's mind, it goes in there. If I had to choose, you know, like 200, 300 movies that I could only ever watch for the rest of my life, it would definitely be on that list.
Whoa, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Godzilla movies for you.
Well,
Are we done?
yeah.
Are we done talking
Oh
about
my
Godzilla?
gosh. Yeah, I mean, I don't
Can
have
we be
anything else
done?
to say. I probably will watch the original one somewhat soon just cuz I want to compare, see how it started. I like 50s movies, so yeah, I might like
And
it.
it's 54, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or 57? 54. Yeah. Okay. It's my recommendation, right?
Next week, what are we doing?
On GC GooberCast. Should we call it GC for short?
GC.
No. Never mind.
That's
I'll
your-
shut up.
I was okay.
I don't know. I have 2 ideas.
You know.
No,
Yeah,
I
you have 2
actually
ideas.
maybe I'll let you choose. I'll be vague, okay? So we can watch 2 movies. They're horror movies. And they're both around an hour and a half.
Okay.
Or we could watch kind of a weird, surreal movie from the 80s.
Do I have to say what I want based off of
Yeah,
that?
pick from those
What?
2 options.
I don't
Yeah.
get to know specifically
No.
what it is. Okay, so you said a weird, surreal 80s movie?
Yeah.
Or
2 horror
what
movies.
was the other one?
2
Or 2
horror movies.
horror
They're
movies?
newer. And they're both around like an hour and a half, 90 minutes.
I don't know with like horror movies because I'm more curious about what is this 80s surreal movie?
Okay.
What is
Pink
this 80s
Floyd, The Wall. Hello?
Oh, I have to look it up.
You know Pink Floyd, the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Rock
is
band.
like a movie that's like almost like a visual album. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been meaning to see it. It's just been on my mind a lot lately, and I kind of wanted to watch like a weird movie.
What the heck is this, man? I was looking at
yeah.
the pictures here. What is this? Okay, well,
It'll be
Okay.
interesting.
looks like we'll have a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought I would pick something weird.
Okay.
No subtitles, so
In English.
yeah.
I don't know what to say. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Next week,
This has been
we'll see you then.
GooberCast.
This has been Ethan,
This has been Colten.
and you've been listening to GooberCast.
GooberCast.
And we'll see you next week.
Goob out.
We'll see. Goob's out. Yeah.